So we're gonna rank the Starks. What there's 8 of them, 9 of them.
9.
9.
So we're including
Nine?
the whole family. Of course,
No.
Catelyn is a Stark. We have Benjen. Don't forget about Rickon. So JD, you want to do this one first? Maybe start from bottom
Bottom?
to number one last.
All right, my very bottom is freaking Bran, dude. Probably my least favorite screen time in all of Game of Thrones. My God, he was boring, with the exception of season 1 and maybe 2. I think he was like adorable. I loved Bran so much in season 1, but my God, every time this dude came on screen and just stared with this like face of "I wish I was ominous" kind of,
I'm gonna go now.
dude. I couldn't stand his screen
It
time.
was only season 6 and on, all right?
I couldn't freaking do it. And like, he did not live up to any expectations. He didn't do anything. He didn't ride a dragon. He didn't give them any super important information. He was just there as a super ominous character that did nothing. Get out of here, Bran. You might as well be the Watcher in Marvel Universe. Number 8. I got Rickon because he just didn't have a lot to do, but he's up one on Bran because I didn't dislike him. He just didn't do anything. So, that was more of a subtraction by addition compared to Bran, right? In a way. Number 7 is Sansa. She went through a lot. She went through probably more than anybody who survived in Game of Thrones, and just that is a huge testament to her character. But at the same time, towards the end, she became kind of annoying, and at the same time, she just was the victim the whole time. So it's not like she's like my favorite Stark. She didn't, I don't know, do much, but I feel bad saying that because she went through so much. Number 6, I got Benjen. Benjen was badass. He was entertaining in every scene he was in. He was either like fun or funny or talking to Jon. Very limited, but at the same time, he also saved Jon towards the end. You don't have Jon without Benjen. Jon would have died without Benjen showing up there.
True.
Number 5, I got Ned, the father figure. Love his presence, but he was kind of dumb. He was way too trusting, way too honorable, and way too easily manipulated. Are you kidding me? He's just gonna let Cersei walk all over him, leading to that death. Like, dude, you should have done better. You should have done something more sneaky. You should have just ditched your honor to survive for your family. Come on, Ned. Love the guy, but I even got Catelyn over Ned.
Oh!
Where do you think she goes? She hasn't showed up yet.
I didn't even think about her because that's how bad she is.
No, Catelyn.
Oh, she was the worst.
Ferocious. She was the best. And, well, not
towards her
she's
son.
4th place.
She really showed that son of hers.
She would not have been worked in King's Landing the way Ned was worked. Like, what was it that Ned did that Cersei, she was just too honorable to fucking tell the...
He told her that he knew.
Told Cersei the whole thing.
bastards.
That's the stupidest thing, and it got him killed. And it set up the whole series. To be honest, I mean, it set up a lot of great things in the future. But my God, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. He ruined everything. He got himself killed. Arya's lost. Sansa's married to Joffrey. His decision fucked up his whole entire family. Okay, and Catelyn at least is ferocious as fuck, even though she died at the end. But I mean, taking blades to the hand, protecting Bran. All that stuff. Catelyn's a badass, and she was a freaking zombie in the books that's coming back for revenge, killing everybody.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
It doesn't. All right, number 3, I got Arya. Adorable in the first couple seasons, and then becomes a complete badass. Everyone thought she died. Then she came back as a freaking daredevil and killed everybody, even killed the Night King in a really savage way. That was pretty dope. So Arya right there, and then number 2 is Rob or John. What do you think?
Better be Rob.
It's John.
Oh, you're disgusting. You disgust
The
me.
only reason, the first half of the series, his dialogue was kind of boring. His screen time wasn't my favorite in the first half of his season. Even like in the middle of the season, he was just okay screen time wise. His story and character evolved quite a bit. I loved every second he was on screen in the second half. But my reason for Rob as first is, of course, winning battle after battle as the underdog, which I thought was the coolest thing in Game of Thrones. I was as the most heartbreaking death by far. That was so savage, him sticking it to the Lannisters as an underdog. And what does it for me over Jon is he didn't have plot armor protecting him the whole series. He was raw. He was a raw character, a real character.
Died so quick.
And he freaking died because of it. Yes.
Because
but
he's an idiot. Speaking of Ned being an idiot, he screwed his whole family over too by marrying some whore instead of just keeping his word to the phrase. He literally killed his entire family and his mom because of that decision. Fuck. But anyway,
That's true.
I'll hold off until my list.
True. That's true. Ooh. But no plot armor for this guy. He went out dying. But I mean, fuck. That's a great point. That's a great point. I just had to do.
Rob's dope. Rob's dope.
Everyone's gonna have Jon. Everyone's gonna have Jon first. I had to get Rob.
I actually don't.
Plus his. Oh hell yeah. But Rob's screen time was also like more fun. His dialogue was better. He was like more entertaining as an actor, as a character. Before Jon started doing really cool shit in the second half of Game of Thrones, I loved Rob so much.
That's fair.
Straight up.
All right, Dave, get into it.
All right, number 9, Rickon. Who cares? Number 8, Catelyn. Just the worst. Treated Jon like garbage. Wished he would die because she was jealous of him. A kid almost died, and now he still treats him like garbage.
That was.
I just didn't enjoy many of her. Lets Jaime free, breaks Rob's thing, and causes that entire division between his army because she decided to let him free in hopes that they would release the Sansa and Arya. Even though Rob goes, "Do you think we would release Jaime if yada yada yada?" Like that. That was just a terrible idea. Went behind his back and freed Jaime, which might have led to a lot of unpleasant things happening there. But main point, I just didn't enjoy Catelyn on screen much at all. I liked her part in the Red Wedding where she stood up and grabbed the wife and got nasty real quick, but she was also kind of dumb because there's no way Rob is going to be let go at that point anyway. So it was desperation. I don't blame her for that, but I just didn't enjoy her that much in this show. Number 7, Sansa. Yes, she was a victim, but she was absolutely unbearable in the first 2 seasons. She started getting smart, got a little better at stuff, and then proceeded to lie to Jon and lie to a bunch of other people and play these games like she was Littlefinger's daughter. And I just... She'd probably be lower, but she had a cool character arc. I will say that. She had a really good character arc over the series as a whole. Right above her, I have Bran. I actually, on my rewatches, I don't mind Bran until season 6. After Hodor, Hold the Door, after that, it's interesting. I like finding out more about the Three-Eyed Raven, but as a whole, obviously, if it delivered, maybe it would have been better, but it didn't go anywhere, so it just feels like a waste of time. But I liked his trip journeying north of the Wall with Homegirl. I forgot what her name was. Ramsay ended up stabbing her in the throat. Yara? No. God, what was her name? You guys know what I'm talking about. The wildling chick who the Starks took in. And they changed her and Yara's name in the books from the books because they had the same name or something in the books. I don't remember what her name was. Asha. There you go. I enjoyed that until he became the Three-Eyed Raven, and then it started dropping off a little because they didn't do anything with it. Right above him, I got Benjen. Not a lot, but he was dope in everything he was in. I loved his character, especially as Adar. I thought it was cool, too. Number 4, I got Rob. He did have dope sequences in the early part of the series. I loved his war scenes. He had a lot of cool, that's a 17-year-old standing up to these guys, has his wolf go bite homie's hand off to, get respect in front of all the Northmen. The King of the North chants, all that stuff. It was dope. So I enjoyed Rob. I just, at the end of it, he blew it. I mean, he doomed the rest of what their family was left after the whole Ned thing. Arya at number 3, badass. She was super fun to watch through the whole series, except for the House of Black and White. On my rewatches, I do not enjoy those scenes in season 6 where she goes blind and she acts as a oyster salesman and whatever the hell else she does. Number 2, Jon, which this even surprises me because Jon's my favorite character in the series. Absolute legend. I've gushed enough about him, but I freaking love Jon, and he had so many moments from start to finish of basically dude was trying to get himself killed time after time and somehow surviving every time, pulling through. Nothing but honor in that bloodstream of his. Number 1 is Ned. Ned, the patriarch, the absolute legend who taught all of these Stark people to be who they became because he was that good of a father. He was that wise. He was that strong. Leading up to that point, yes, his honor got him killed at the end and caused some chaos in his family, but I respect the fact he was able to hold still. And I love his line to Varys, where Varys goes, just submit, say you did it, whatever, like abandon your pride. And he goes, you were raised with actors and you learned your craft well. I was raised with soldiers. I learned to die a long time ago. And that right there is just like, that was a bar. All right, do what you got to do, Ned. Stupid choice. His honor got him killed and screwed his family, but he was still an absolute legend. And he, pound for pound, one of the best characters in the series. If he would have gotten more seasons, that man would have continued to flourish in the show. But unfortunately, George had him be a little dumb.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Ned's screen time was amazing.
Oh yeah. He
Shout out
carries
Sean
that first
Bean.
season. All right, so
Lub,
my list.
what are we looking? Yeah.
Last, I have Rick on as well. Prometheus School of Running Away from Things. Like, come on, bro. Swag to the side a little.
Zig Zag.
Then I have Sansa. It's mostly because of the first few seasons on a rewatch. Her
Unbearable.
just betraying her family to stay with Joffrey because she wants to have this life of flowers and love, and from the songs she hears, like,
I don't
my
want
God.
someone brave and honorable. I want him.
But yeah, later in the show, she does grow on me for sure. Then I have Benjen. He's dope, but not in it very much. He does kind of show John the ropes a little bit. I mean, barely actually, before he goes off and dies.
Yeah.
Then he comes back as Cold Hands. And then I have Catelyn. She's kind of the same reasons where the first few seasons, the way she acts to John, she kind of grows. I mean, she kind of starts to realize maybe Tyrion didn't actually do it, so she does have that kind of level-headedness about her. And Lady Stoneheart in the books is pretty dope. Next, at number 5 is Bran. So Book Bran is one of my favorite characters. Like, him in the book is dope. Him in the show, not as much. Like, I don't think the actor. I think that whoever, I don't even know his name, but I think he was better as a young child than an adult. Like, when he got to, like, or a teenager, you know? He did a better job as a child than when his role expanded and he was required to do more. He didn't really live up to that.
Yeah, I always wondered if that was the writing or him. I couldn't tell, but I agree. It dropped off for sure.
Number 4 is Rob. I mean, obviously the hero of the first few seasons. Well, you guys talked about it. He fucks it up at the end. Number 3 is Arya.
Okay.
I mean, Arya. I liked Arya from season 1 to season 8 almost till the end. Like, she's one of my favorite characters in the first few seasons. When she goes to King's Landing, she's getting like the dancing lessons with Magister Syrio, and then goes off on her own with the Hound. Those are some great scenes. Finds the Brotherhood. Like, Arya's dope. And then number 2 is Ned. I do have him not at number 1, but he is number 2. Just, I mean, yes, but he's dumb, he's honorable, but when Varys tells him, like, hey, the decision you made could lead to your daughters being in danger, when he's up there in front of everyone, he does
True,
lie.
he did give in.
He gave
I
in
forgot
and he
about
said,
that.
like,
yeah.
yes, like, Joffrey is the true king, like, I
That's
was wrong,
right.
and he's going to get sent to the wall. And Joffrey's, like, at the last second, kills him, so. In the end, he did see his faults, but he still,
Forgot about that.
yeah, R.I.P. And number 1, if you didn't know, is Mr. Aegon Targaryen himself, Jon Snow. Jon Stark. He's not even technically a Stark at all, but he's number 1 for me.
Well, Lyanna Stark was his mom.
Oh, that's true. He's half Stark.
yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, and
I like to see a Dany fan have to put Jon as number 1 on the list. It just makes me happy.
And yeah, obviously the My Queen. Whenever when he met Danny, his character went down pretty fast. But
So fast.
first,
Aside from the
5-6
dragon
seasons,
riding,
the dragon.
that
riding
was the
dope.
only part that elevated when she came in.
But then they just let the dragon fly by itself and it dies because they didn't notice the giant.
Forgot
ships
about
and
the fleet.
Yeah, they forgot about that. All right.